Yo, what is good? My anime faithful, what is good, yo? So, talking about food war, I wanted to bring one of the most biggest eaters of food on, and that would be Goku. Eats so much food that the food war people would probably actually feel bad about giving them food because he wouldn't savor it and tell them all the different things he tastes. He'd just eat it up, and that'd be it. But overall, this week was relatively pretty cool. With this show, though, like I was saying earlier, you guys don't believe me. I guess you're gonna start believing me soon because everything that I said is pretty much playing out the way I expected. They're trying to hype up this battle that's going on right now, but it's kind of closed and shut when we're talking about the number one dude, regardless of how much effort our teammate is putting in this week towards the end. It just feels like it's already set in stone what's supposed to happen. So that kind of sucks, but at the same time, it makes sense because there's not too much you can do with outside characters unless you want your main character to not show up the way that he should. And this is the good time for that to happen, which we're gonna have the top two women and men of the non-rebels go against the top woman and man on the rebels. So that kind of was an easy little thing to call out. And not only was it easy, this week's episode did not take any time to get a Dini or the Italian guy out of here quick and in a hurry because he really didn't stand a chance. Like, not only is he going against the girl who's going out and she's pretty much Toriko and gets exotic foods, top grade ingredients by herself, and then, just kind of acts like it's nothing. So you have that, and then the fact that she's just as talented as she is. You can only imagine how much more she can create if she goes out and finds what she's looking for. So I'm relatively interested in seeing where that goes as a whole, because as of now, it's looking like she'll probably be the one to go against God Tongue. And then once she goes against her, I don't know how they're going to settle this. I could really see this turning into a 2v2 in the case of actually allowing the two contestants to work together on the dish instead of it just being one-on-one, which would be interesting and I think would be a lot better for God Tongue instead of like having her maybe tie or something. To be fair though, this whole week's episode had the girl who has the top ingredients getting relatively angry at the person for butting in, even though he didn't, necessarily like change anything. It's just all of a sudden she's cooking, doing her thing, and then next thing you know, this guy shows up and he's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna take the." And not only were you cooking, doing your own thing, the judges already had judged somebody, and he just shows up like, "Oh, it's my turn now. It's my turn to do my things." Like, oh wow, like you really just don't care. Which I really hate her dad. He's so annoying to me, and to think that he's feeling himself so much and going up here becoming the judge, it's practically laughable. Because I feel like he shouldn't ever go against the people that are for him or for his team, right? I mean, it would just be dumb on his part to be like, "Oh wow, this food is actually scrumptious, and I vote against them." It could like it doesn't matter regardless what he votes with having two people on his side, but then you have someone to his left or the person that's actually you have. There's supposed to be three judges, but there's another one that's behind him, which I think they did on purpose because the way I see it is she is the one that's all, "Oh, I'll just sit on your lap. Can I blow on the food before you eat it?" All this type of stuff. She would have been super on his side on picking just the other side, I feel like. So when this happens, I was questionable, right? I was like, "Oh man, this is dumb. Why would this happen?" And then they're like, "Oh yeah, but the former president or the head has already, signed off on this. I'm like, all right, what? Oh my guess. So I guess that's that, and it's all good in the hood. So we'll see how this plays out. I honestly love the fact that the dad is still holding a grudge against Yukihira, and uh, on top of holding the grudge, he doesn't even know what the heck the grudge is about. He doesn't even know he's the one that the grudge is being held from eating. Interrupted his meal? Now that's messed up. Did you ever find out who that person was? Like, that's his actual reaction to hearing this. Like, he's such an idiot. So absolutely hilarious. Food War has always been a show that either it gets me laughing or it just gets me really, really hungry. And regardless, it did a little bit of both today. And like I was saying with the number one guy and thinking that he's going to lose to someone else who isn't that much prominent, like that prominent in the show, yeah, I don't see that happening. Just because of he needs another title on another little victory on his belt, and then it would make our character even that much more afraid to go against him because he's beating someone that even Yukihira himself had a match with, and I'm pretty sure it's safe to say he lost to him. It was in the first season, and they were in the dorm room, and they had a little match back and forth with each other. That was really quick, but clear enough to understand that Yukihira didn't win it in his opinion, and I think it's someone else's opinion too. So that was interesting. Seeing where he's come now to where he's been, including since everybody's calling him a genuine like genius and like a master, and all the stuff he did was really good, which it was. It was dope having some soup look clear, and because you opened up a little bit of the food, it turned into a completely different type of soup or broth. Turned in from normal broth to miso soup. That's pretty crazy. Um, and that's the type of thing that scares the ever living crap out of me because this is practically the baby stuff right now, right? Like we're gonna see Yukihira and the number one guy go against each other, or we're gonna see Yukihira go against the redhead chick, who kind of has a thing for him in a case of liking to see what he's up to, liking to see what he could bring to the table. So we'll see exactly what he brings. Food Wars is doing amazing. I definitely don't know why anyone's not watching it if they're not. The plot is actually really good for a show that's based only around food. So I don't say that about a lot of shows that don't have, something I'm into and have all of its stuff relatively complementing each other. But with Food War, it's that good. So hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely talk to you in the next one. So with that being said, peace.